Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Transport Fever in the year 2038. And as I'm sure you're all aware, in the year 2038 everybody rides on trams. Tram appears like magic. And if that weren't enough, and clearly I have some kind of roller coaster fixation going on at the moment. Look at that. Look, I mean, just, imagine riding on board. In fact, let's ride on board that and see where it takes. Where's the next one in the circuit? Come on, come on. I ain't got time to hang around. This is the punchy, high octane, finish on a high note, opening sequence before we... Right, stop. There you go. Thank you. Pile on. There we go. Enjoy the ride, friends. This is going to be majestic. Oh, yeah. Feels a bit dangerous. That's what the passengers pay for these days. It's going to be tremendous. Anyway, we're in Santa Rosa. Don't run her over. Riding on a tram. Watch out for this idiot in a pickup. Yeah, see, look, I knew he was going to do that. Flipping, can't trust pickup drivers. Anyway, yes, we're in the year 2038. We've got money just spilling out of every pocket. The bank manager looks at us askance because we're not paying any fees or, interest. Don't run these people. Oh, my goodness. They're under the track. I don't believe it. Anyway, enough of this. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to make a San Bernardino, or Birdo, as I am reliably informed that the locals occasionally refer to it. We're going to make it desirable. Yeah, I know, get your head around it. And we're going to make it desirable by doing something industrial with it. And trickily, if trickily is a word, the industrial area is right over here. Okay, well, we can work with that. But in order to do so, we're going to revisit a plan I think I first mentioned about 10 hours ago. So, saddle up. Now, the reason for this industrial experience we're all about to go through together is this thing here, this airport. This white elephant, of which it has a partner in Boston, that I have experimented with on numerous occasions, and it's never, ever made money. Yes, we've had one or two people who wanted to fly in an aeroplane, but fundamentally it's just never worked. So my goal here is to make Birdo. I'm not sure I can get behind such jocularity in naming, but... Well, we'll see what happens. Anyway, is to turn this town into the industrial heartland of the entire map. Why are you fighting me here? Construction's not possible. Construction should be possible, surely. I mean, I severed that connection. Maybe I need to tram track it. Let's say yes and see if it's happier. Why not? Why are you not happy? I'm very shortly going to get over this. I'm over it. Right. So... oh, hold on. Maybe it needs to be electric tram track. One more try. No, I'm not quite over it. This one. Yeah, there we go. And construction's not possible. Don't understand. There doesn't seem to be any lawful impediment as to why that isn't working. I could make it work with the bulldozer, but we're not going to. Anyway, yes, so nowhere else on the map is really that industrialized at the moment, and Boston is big on the food side of things, which means on the commercial side of things, so if we're going shopping, it's pretty spectacular. Whereas Birdo here, it's got nothing going for it other than quite a sizable population and regular train services. Big whoop. So what we're going to do... Well, it's going to be exciting, I'll tell you that. Right, what I'm thinking here is that we leverage this here machine factory, because with the application of planks and steel, we can make both tools and machines. I'm not entirely sure if it will be happy making tools and machines, or whether it will just make tools or just make machines, but we'll find out. So the easy part of that is we've got a wood kind of supply chain that's hooked up right there. Piece of cake, no problem at all. That's going to be easy. The trickier bit is going to be making steel, and I hasten to note, I've not researched this at all. I haven't given it any thought. So we've got a steel mill there. Yes. We've got another one here. Okay, that one may be more practical. Although, you know, I've got the best part of 300 million quid in the bank. So I can afford all of this. Now, we've got iron there. Terrific. So that's close enough. And we've got coal. We've got coal just the other side of the same mountain. In fact, there's a whole swathe of iron ore going on here. So what I'm thinking initially, this is subject to revision, is we go coal, whiz through the mountain to I imagine a somewhat elevated station, to then pick up iron on the same line, and then there we go. Yeah, see, and then we can straight line it through to the steel mill here, and then potentially straight line it. Yeah, we could do the whole thing in a straight line. It's expensive, but I mean, firstly, that's never really slowed me down. Secondly, good. And then from here we continued. We run stuff back out again. So the lumber setup. I'll take lumber to the sawmill by truck. It's just not far enough to warrant trains. By the time the trains got up to top speed, it hasn't, because the track will be too short. But we'll train from there down, and then maybe pack goods on the way back to Thornton and then High Point, or we put a goods train together that delivers to Thornton and High Point, and another one to Santa Rosa and another one to San Bernardino. All of this has merit. Equally, we could come back carrying some goodies for New Haven. Maybe even McAllen if I feel like it. At any rate, this has all the markings of something that should work. Right, okay, preamble done. Let's start building. This is the challenging bit, I think. Not in terms of cost, but in terms of elevation. This one. Right, let's not muck about. Let's go straight for a 2-track, because you never know. Actually, we don't need a 2-track. We need a 1-track. Yeah, and we're going to stick with diesel. Right, so something along those lines, and we'll point it just to the left of the iron mine. Now I'm gonna try. It depends how sidetracked I get, and you know, I very rarely get sidetracked. But there we go. Unable to align terrain. But we're already getting snagged here. Come on, where can you align the terrain? Let's delete as much of this road as possible, and then see how it feels about aligning some terrain. That's not a train. Yeah, like that. If we can get the station in there. All right, walking it down to the coal mine may prove challenging. Right, let's see. It's going to tell me it's too much slope, I should imagine. Oh, no, it went for too much of a terrain alignment collision instead. Oh, no, there we go. Perfect. Good. It's even got tram tracks on. Not sure I feel great about that. Get rid of those. Do we want to... No, we don't. Good. Right, now, is that in range of the mine? Yes, it is. Number 1 done. And so that I know what the hell it is, we're going to call this iron mine, which would be the wrong thing to call it, given that it's a coal mine. Good. Right. Okay. Now, next stop is going to be this chap here. Now, getting from here to this one is going to be difficult. Getting to that one is going to be easier. It's going to be about getting the elevation of the track more or less spot on. Now, I mean, you know, it's going to fight me there. I need to lay the road back in at the original one, or it's going to complain. Now, we have to tunnel, but when we tunnel, I want to make sure that I can do it in a straight-ish, if not entirely straight line. This might make more sense to go the other side. It gives us more, it gives us more choices. So I want to going to stick a bit of road in here first. Road in a bit, stick first. Right, terrain alignment collision. Brilliant. More alignment collision. Let's come out. Terrain alignment. Terrain, just align. Bulldozer. Collide that. Right, there you go. See? Oh! Stuff you, connecting road I don't need. There you go. Fling it around the corner. I don't like the elevation you're putting on there, but hopefully that will marry up adequately with... I don't... Come on. You can spend more than a second to make this look halfway decent. There you are, look. Oh, stop it. Come on, where's good? You feel safe there, do you? Okay. Then get around the corner. That's the business. Right, good. Right, next station, next station, next station, next station. Construction's not possible. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Unable to align. No, no, I saw a bit. I saw one. There was one. I saw it. It's there. Okay, the mine's in range. Now, I want to pull the angle a little if I can. Okay, we'll take that. Will we? Let's go 2-track, actually, just so that we've got them. There we go. Take it. Expensive, but ultimately necessary. Okay, right. Back to the beginning. Let's put in the missing road, and we're not going to do anything to hold on. I'm going to need a depot over there. It's the perfect place for a depot. Or rather, it's a very convenient place for a depot. Perfect and depot, we don't really use that kind of language in this series. Adequate, that's, you know, needs must, I think we've probably used on more than one occasion. Bit of that, bit of this. Terrain alignment collision. Oh, I see. Oh, you've had enough of confounding me with curves. Now it's... You've got all the time in the world to even that slope out. Stop complaining about it. Right. That's now... sorted. Right. Now, let's get this one up. I'm going to put high-speed track on here. It's very unlikely that whatever train I'm running is going to get up to high speed. And at the same time, I'm not going to... be too much messing. Oh, don't do that. No. No, 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 no. This has to be able to stick a tunnel in. There you are. Right. Now, connect up. Now, why are you doing electrification? I suggested that... See, what would be quite nice is if the station were to... Or if the game would understand what you are connecting up to. And automatically apply the same settings to whatever you connect to it. So if the station has got electrification and the station has got high-speed track, that the track going into that station inherits those properties. Right? Surely that would be quite straightforward, rather than it just remembering the last thing you did on there. There you go. You can have that one. That's free. Right. Let's take it down so it's flat. It won't be flat by the time it comes out the other end of the tunnel, though. I can tell you that much. Yeah. Okay. Right. Good. Do not give me any collision nonsense. Very nice. Oh, you've found a reason to put a very poor piece of bridge in there as well. Lovely. But are we talking a relatively smooth route? We are talking a relatively smooth route. Then there is cause for us all to celebrate. Okay. How much was that? 6 and a bit million. Ah, it's chump change. Right. Road vehicle 78 has reached its lifetime. I don't care. Now, this is a needless expense. Let's see if I can't do that. Yeah. Otherwise, my convenient depot that I was singing the virtues of just a moment ago is actually going to be less than virtuous. That would work. That would work. I like it. Points in a tunnel. I've no idea if they're going to work effectively or not, but I'll take it. Seems very dangerous. So let's name this one Iron Mine, since it is an iron mine. Iron mine. So the thinking is that the iron train itself comes down, picks up that side. Coal train whistles through, going, oi, oi, mate. And then we whiz up here. to the steel mill, where we shall aim for whichever one it was I spotted earlier on that I like the looks of. Where did I leave? Oh, so we're going in a straight line. Going in a straight line. Well, okay. Well, I think the time of it being an actual straight line is possibly behind us at this point. But that's okay. Hold on. Why are you now? Why has it made me reset my selection? Oh, that is a long one. Okay, fine. All right. There is our target over there. So we want to come in. A bit of this, bit of that, bit of this. That'll do it. Maybe a little bit less. That'll do it. Yeah. Happy? Yeah. Doing it. Let's high speed it. Might as well. And presto. Oh, I'm a little bit concerned about that now. I'm not convinced I'm going to be able to connect up the road. And yet. Good. Okay, right. So, what are we doing on this one? So, same kind of deal with this one is the double track that we've got going on here. We will continue to run double tracked, but obviously we need the lead line out there first. And we shall come in on the delivery side, which I have decided is the right-hand side. Terrain alignment collision? Surely not. Well, what could you possibly be upset about? All right, well, let's give you a bit of lead-in track, shall we? Yeah, I'll try that. See how you get on with that. Yeah, obviously, senseless bridge. There we go. Senseless bridge in place. Should keep it smoother, in theory, but I'm not 100% convinced about that. Let's have a look. We can mess around with it like this, but it's making virtually no difference to the price of the thing. I'm just going to take its default, I think. The reason I'm not using the red bridge, the reason I'm using the iron bridge, the kind of regular steel bridge there, is because there's no point in using the red bridge. I'm never going to get over 200 kilometers an hour with a goods train. So there's absolutely no point in me spending more on an arguably uglier bridge. Right. Throw this up here. Now, what should we do here? Should we extend this to be 3 platforms just for the sake of this? Yeah, let's do that for the hell of it. You know, we can afford it. We're not short of money now, and whenever I'm not short of money, I always spend the hell out of it. Let's delete it back so we can get the curve a little nicer. There we go. And then connect you up there like that. Groovy. For it is groovy. That's pretty cool. I like it. Right, El Paso West. That's our first foray out into the wilds near El Paso. But, you know, we're not even going to reference it because this is Steel Mill. Good. Yes. Splendid. Right, that's another one done. I need to hook this one up here onto that. I need to cross over these so that we can... Or do I? Hold on, what are we bringing up here? We're bringing up iron ore and we're bringing up coal. And they are coming in on separate lines. So we don't need any kind of a crossover on that stuff, which is good. Although finishing the track is, you know, beneficial. Right. So if we look at these 1, 2, 3, 1 is going to be the outbound route, which is going quite a long way. And then these 2 fellas on the other side there, both inbounds. Right, this is working. This is all good. Right, so let's fire the outbound. Outbound. Steady. We don't drive over roads. Bad things happen if you drive over roads. Now, I could elevate it ever so slightly at the start there and avoid this gully, but I'm more interested, to be honest, in keeping it as flat as possible throughout the whole of its journey. So yes, it is considerably more expensive, but if I can keep it flat... see, I can't keep it flat. Oh well, we're going downhill while fully loaded. That's worth doing, because at least then you're getting gravity on your side more than against you. And because car traffic is, you know, a burden to all of us, I'm going to make them queue. There we are. Beautiful. Right then. Okay, now let's put in the next station. Where? Now this is where the magic happens. This is where things turn magical or something. Right, let's get rid of all of this road here because it's just going to get in the way, and I'm going to want to relay it. We need a station that will receive not only the steel coming in, but also the wood that's coming from there, which will be on another train line. And I'm getting another train line coming out, probably like that. So this is going to be 2 separate trains. That's going to be expensive. And then another train to Santa Rosa and another train. Really? You want to use a train? Trucks might be way more efficient in this case. Yeah, I mean, if you consider the length of the train, there's a high chance that actually it's 3/4 of the way there by the time it's left the station. Have another ponder. Actually, train will work. Train would work. We'll make a little short train, and it'll work. The question is, how am I going to? Where's the hook in for this? And I guess it's going to be up here. It's the only one that really makes sense. So I'm going to want to come past, or I want the edge of the rail to come past the edge of this factory, if at all possible. Let's go. There we are. Yep. That's about it. Except it always looks better going the other way because it tries to curve. If you grab a loose end and then extend road out from that, it'll try and grab it. It'll try and curve it gently, whereas if you head into a curve, it'll add a nice kind of 90-degree corner on there. Or that's what I found anyway. Right, now I'm going to need a bunch of tracks on here, so I'm going to just not muck about, and I'm going to go with 5 to start with, because that should give me enough kind of pre-flattening that extension shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, the reason I want this a reasonable length of distance this way is to avoid a big curve for the incoming steel. So about there might work, but actually I'm going to put it back in again, because if I get too close to that slope, although I could fix the slope with, you know, excessive amounts of smoothing, which, you know, as much as it's kind of against my religion, doesn't mean I'm going to shy away from it. Right. I think we'll try and do this in reverse. Controversial. So let's, as ever, if you're going to put a sharp corner, do it right at the start or right at the end, because the train's already slowing down. Right about there. Keep your sharp corners as short as possible. That looks pretty good to me. Right, here we go. How many arms and legs would you like for this particular tunnel? Flipping heck, that escalated quickly. 23.3 million. Well, that's if that's the price of doing business, and that is a straight line. What do we feel about the connection? Maybe we dispute this just on the quality of the connection. Looks fine. Well, it is what it is. We could do this quite a bit cheaper. We're not going to. Take it. There we are. Holy mackerel! That's oh yeah, that's an investment in a bit. Let's do something with this road. That, and then a bit of that. Whiz it under the bridge. Connect it back up to stop people whining. There we go. There are people whining, of course, and they will continue to do so. They'll also be complaining about this as well, I imagine. I'll fix that in a minute. Right, because I'm feeling pretty buoyant in terms of success so far. Now I want to take, which is the sensible one to take here. Now I think we will take this. Yeah, this one. This is going to be the wood line, I think. Now, obviously, initial wood delivery we'll do by truck. There is absolutely no sense in using a train for that, unless I kind of ran 2 trains and went all the way back and then to their pickup and then down here. Now, I've experimented with that previously on another line. Stop whining. And it doesn't work. Yeah, it's just it's a very expensive way to never get your goods supply up at all. Right, that's going through there. You people, enjoy your fresh new level crossing. Have a queue. Right, okay, so I want to come in at that in as straight a line as possible as well, and we'll go to the right, I guess, of the sawmill. See, all of this building business is so much. What do you mean construction's not? I'm not asking you to construct anything. I want to bulldoze the sucker. There you go. See, very, very possible. Yeah, it's so much easier if you're using a no-cost mod, or you're playing on easy, or you've already proved the point that you can make a metric ton of cash, and therefore, you know, costs are no longer any kind of issue whatsoever. Building is a doddle. Right, okay, freight station. We only need one line here. And so one line is what we'll use. Arguably, I suspect, given the length of this route, I reckon that this might be too long a station. But we're at the stage now where there's no such thing as too long a station. If I could build longer stations, I would. Right. Connect that up to the line over there. And obviously, that's now going to plough straight through the middle of that hill, making it more expensive. And come on, there you go, right there. You're saying it can't be done. I say it can. All right, maybe I have to help a little bit more. So there's the end of the line. So if we, yeah, we'll be somewhat generous. There's 116, and then try it. Go on. Why not? What's your issue? There you go. What are you colliding with? You're colliding right at the start. Well, don't. You know, find a better solution. Do a bit of that. 1.4 versus 1.29. 1.4. Now, admittedly, we get a big lump if we do it that way. I'll take it. There you go. Less complaining. We get a little tunnel just underneath this wooded something rather. Okay. Let's give these people a level crossing as well. Have fun with that. Yeah, it's a single track road. If I could make it a dirt track, I would do. Yeah, I'm like the anti-beaching. For those of you who are familiar with such things, instead of closing down rails and suggesting that motorways are the future, I propose the opposite. Shut down all motorways. Okay, good. Right, so I think that's it. So this is Sawmill. Here we go. Now, obviously, it's not ready to go yet. We're not even delivering to end consumers, but we do have our kind of production centres up. Lower San Bernardino. You are factory. And I have no idea what the factory is going to make, which is exciting. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a reasonable idea what a factory is going to make, but I have no specific idea as to what it's actually going to make. But let's get the truck stop up next. Truck stop. How far can we go with this? It's good. I think it's good. I like it. Good. Right. Okay. So that's that end. Now this road, you know, it might look reasonable enough to you, but frankly, if I'm going to be using it to ship goods, or even, you know, just raw lumber at this point, I want a straight line of superhighway. So we'll select superhighway. No. See, look, it's trying to do that clever curvy nonsense again. Now, a bit of that at that end. And then, alright, doing a complete straight line is actually going to prove to be difficult. But if I were to do something like that, it will complain. Well, I'd rather wish it wouldn't. Right, look, let's get it there. That's £1 million worth of superhighway. Let's bulldoze the road, because we know this is close enough already. If I just, you know, connect that up properly. But what I'd quite like it to do, which it just has no... In fact, you know what? Get knotted. I know where you were. I can place you straight back in. I'll even, because I'm feeling that way inclined, move you just a little bit closer to the sawmill. Now, build my any kind of road at all. Alright, we'll do that with the end of the road, and then we'll take that down there, which we don't need to be that thick. Make it tiddly, everybody's happy. Right, that still reaches, yes it does. Excellent. High Point Halt. I'm going to leave that alone, that's a great name. And then over here we've got High Point Forest. So, the objective, there we go. So, shuttle till the end of time. Now, trucks delivering stuff over that kind of distance can actually be really, really profitable. But you can sneak a few extra quid out of it by sticking your depot accordingly. Now, if everybody wants to drive on the right, that's how I want it. So, you know, if I get that placed, the reason for that, right? Everybody comes zipping up here, right? They take the turn in. Thank you, autosave. Take your time. They take the turn in and come round like that, but it means that trucks that are exiting aren't blocked by the trucks on the way in. Whereas if I stuck it on the other side, they would be blocked. It would be far less efficient. See, I do occasionally put thought into this stuff, you know. I'm sure you give me credit for that already, but, you know, I like to just demonstrate it once in a while. Right, I'm feeling generous. Let's do a bit of that. You can have a bridge. There you are. And as tempting as it may be to then immediately take the road on a bit of a wild goose chase, no, I'm even going to connect it up relatively quickly. In fact, if we take that to there, and then we can make some kind of wacky junction. Actually, no, I hate that as an idea. No, I don't hate it. It's fine. Good. Right, so what's left? As is traditional, you know, we're at the 35th minute here. What we're going to do is we're going to set everything up this time around, and then next time around we'll run stuff down it, because you know that's the way we like to roll. This is actually quite a lengthy route. I mean, it's going from, you know, right over on the east coast to right over on the west coast. I use air quotes there for the word coast, given that we don't have a coast. I want to do San Bernardino with a train. Oh, that's going to be challenging. Right, we'll do that one next time. Santa Rosa we can do now if there's an amenable district, which there is. Hey, good. Right, so with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little 240, maybe even a 120. And we're going to stick it right in the middle of this industrial area. Brace yourselves. There will be bloodshed. Hold on. Yeah, we're going in there. Coming right in here. Because then we get 100% or very close to 100% coverage of the goods area. Of the industrial area. It's done. That was a deal. Yeah, brilliant. That's good news, that. And actually, I'm going to upgrade it and stick on Second Street connection, because then I can also do things that you know, resemble quite broadly that. Yep. And then a bit of this, right? And then the game can figure out how it wants to proceed from there. Actually, the game is useless at choosing how to proceed from there, so I'm going to give it another quick nudge in the right kind of thought process by sticking just a road to nowhere down there. And then maybe it will fling a few buildings in alongside my goods station, which would be super. Right, okay, so from here we're going to run this out to the steel mill. And I've forgotten where it is. It's over here, look. Are we coming out the top or are we coming out the bottom? I think we're coming out the top, and I think what we'll do is we'll have Santa Rosa coming in that side, San Bernardino coming out the bottom. Yeah. There's thinking in there somewhere. Alright, do a bit of this, and then into here. Not quite an as the crow flies route, that one, but the frequency should be enough, and the fact that it's delivering right into the heart of town means that that route alone will drive demand for the whole setup. I guarantee it. Right, Thornton, where's your industrial area? It's right there, look. Alright, Thornton, I'm going to be a little bit mean, if I'm honest. You might not like what's about to happen. In fact, I'm pretty certain you're not. But anyway, this is what's about to happen. Right, that might be enough, but let's not take chances. There we go. One more, because we're not taking chances. There we go. So, what remains of the industrial area in Thornton is in there. I may have deleted a little bit more than was strictly necessary. But we've already got a bit of road in place that is doing the kind of thing I want it to do. That's 2nd Street, it. Surely you can get both. Surely you can get both. See, there's a 2nd Street connection. What? You only get one catchment area? No. That seems very unreasonable. Well, that's the catchment area I want. So, I mean, is it worth me even terminaling this? Maybe I can get both. That doesn't make any sense to me. Let's go with a traditional. 240 will be more than enough. And actually, the catchment area on this is bigger. Well. Right about that. Right, no. I want this pretty close in. Don't give me terrain alignment collision, because this is I mean, look, it's making all of the right noises to look really, really good. See what I want it right up against the road, but obviously it's not going to do that. Let's go there. There, that's cool, because I say so. Right, and then we'll hook you straight into... hold on, how are we getting to the next one? High Point, okay, fine. Hook you into there, like that. Now there are, I freely admit, there are quite a few dedicated? Yeah, sure, dedicated lines at work here, but I'm a believer. I think this is going to fly. And it's going to fly well. Can we do that in a more kind of rusticated, you know, last scene of Back to the Future 3 sort of fashion? That's what we're chasing here. Because obviously that's my frame of reference for railroads running through the middle of an American kind of standardized suburban kind of town. And those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There we go. Yeah, that looks all right. That could work. Have we got a ludicrous... Yeah, we got a ludicrous dent in there for reasons I don't fully understand, and I'm not gonna settle for it. I'm not. Oh no, we're gonna do this one right. Right. That's how it's gonna look. It's going to look like that, and I want you to comply and not disrupt my beautiful, beautiful train track. That looks better. There's still a little bit of a lump in there, but that's far more acceptable. And as always, I would rather punish the road traffic than anything else. So if I've got that right, which I'm pretty sure I've got it close to, we've got one industrial building there that I think is now not served. Oh, it is served. and then the rest of the town. And we've got all this space for industry to move into, which it should be, you know, delighted to do. That's going to be a winner. So between that and Santa Rosa's setup, I think that this line's going to make money, and quite a lot of it. Anyway, you're going to have to tune in next time to find out what that looks like. Yeah, I know you'd rather I got it finished now, but next episode's really not that far away in cosmic terms, and you know, and it'll be around. Let's we looked at goods trains the last couple of episodes. Let's look at this fella. I'm paused. Okay, there you are. Follow along. Yeah. So this is just purely because we haven't really watched the train so far this episode. There we go, let's watch one. Okay, you happy now? So yeah, please throw a like at this one if you liked it. And next time around, we'll finish off getting the routes plumbed in, and then we will do what? Put trains down it. Yeah, that's a good idea. And then after that, the plan is, after I've got that running, we're going to let it build up a little bit, because then we're going for planes. Bordeaux's airport is going to make money, I swear it. And we'll probably rejuvenate ships at the same time. There you go. Yeah, that's the scheme. And then there's the East Coast Main Line, Central Line, a few other bits and pieces to do, and then bosh, 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 end of series. So subscribe so you don't miss the end of the series, which will be in many hours from now, and you won't want to miss it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. I'll catch you next time. Crane. Cheerio!